Welcome to Insiders, B2B intelligence for those serious about surf parks. None of the research has provided an empirically based demand-side estimate of global surf tourism spending until now. So, this is essentially what our study did, was to put out a survey with and attract a sufficient response rate to be able to arrive at some pretty good numbers on this. So I wonder if you could just take us really quickly through the breakdown of survey respondents. We ended up with 2,199 usable responses, meaning that those people answered every single question in the survey. Take us through some of the demographics, income, country of origin, etc. there.
Yeah, for sure. I think this was on par with a lot of the other studies that we saw. I think we probably have sort of more of a global sample. You can see the proportions get down a little low when you look at some of the other places around the globe, but that's also probably relative to the actual global surf population. At this point, though, I think the demographics are shifting quickly, but around 82% male respondents, 18% female. Mostly aged under about half under 34 and half over 35. So fairly dispersed sample age wise. Again, $75,000 income, I think, was what the Nelson study also found was the sort of average income of a surfer, and that was kind of right in our mid-range point as well, with half being under that and half being over. 56% from North America, 18 from Europe, 21 from Australia. So those were the kind of the main areas that we sort of analyzed against one another at one point down track, and 2% from South America, 1% from Africa, and 2% from Asia. Most were short boarders, but also about a fourth were long boarders, and 9% primarily used other things, which we listed as SUP or bodyboard. Ability, we have mostly advanced and expert surfers, about 28% intermediate and 9% beginner. And we have people surf in a lot of different countries. I think we might have been the first to ask people the number of countries that they actually surfed in. And we had our 8% that hadn't traveled abroad, and then 32% had been to 1 to 2 countries. And that we don't know the frequency, like they may revisit those countries over and over again, like a lot of East Coasters with Costa Rica or something like that. And then 35% have been to 3 to 5 other countries, 18% 6 to 10, and 7% have been to 11 or more countries for the primary purpose of surfing. So that was kind of the breakdown of our sample.
Right on. All right, well, let's dig into the findings a little bit then. So we had a pretty good broad sample. Maybe you can speak a little bit just before we get going into this to, the sample size, and was this a large enough sample to be drawing conclusions about? Is it representative enough to talk about it as a truly representative global sample?
We definitely, at this size, if you assume that the surf population is that 35 million benchmark, which we use for a lot of our values, that our sample is representative with around a 3% error margin, roughly. So anything, any number we find, you could probably move the needle 3% either way and be fairly confident in what we're saying is representative of the global population, which I think, passing that through peer review and having that looked at that way. I think we were encouraged in previous studies as well to advocate for representative sample, but we didn't do it for a number of different reasons, though it surely can be seen that way, and the findings should be seen to be powerful.